The Silent Night. Christmas Eve had always been a time of joy and warmth, but that year, a looming darkness cast its shadow over the holiday spirit. I had returned to my childhood home for a festive family reunion, unaware that the festive cheer would give way to a nightmarish encounter that would forever taint the season. The old Victorian house, adorned with twinkling lights and tinsel, seemed to come alive with the magic of Christmas. Laughter echoed through the halls as we exchanged gifts and shared tales of the year gone by. I retired to the guest bedroom, nestled under layers of blankets, and allowed the gentle hum of the heater to lull me into a sense of security. The glow from the Christmas tree in the hallway danced on the walls, casting playful shadows that seemed to take on a life of their own. As I drifted into a restless sleep, a chilling breeze swept through the room, extinguishing the warmth of the heater. I awoke to find myself shivering, the air thick with an unnatural cold. Glancing at the clock, I noted that it was precisely 3:33 a.m., a witching hour, as superstitions would have it. A soft melody reached my ears, a haunting rendition of Silent Night that seemed to emanate from the depths of the house. The Christmas tree lights flickered in tandem with the spectral melody, casting an eerie glow on the hallway outside my door. Compelled by an inexplicable force, I ventured into the dimly lit corridor. The air grew heavier, and the familiar surroundings of the house took on a surreal quality. The walls seemed to close in, and the shadows danced with a malevolent grace. As I followed the ethereal music, I reached the grand staircase, adorned with garlands and twinkling lights. The melody intensified. The words of Silent Night now whispered in a ghostly chorus that echoed through the house. The once celebratory tune wore a lamenting quality, as if the very walls mourned some unseen tragedy. Descending the staircase, I entered the living room to a sight that froze my blood. The Christmas tree, once a beacon of festive warmth, now stood warped and skeletal, its twinkling lights casting elongated shadows that stretched across the room. The whispers grew louder, and a presence manifested in the shadows, a figure draped in tattered garments, its face obscured by darkness. It beckoned to me with skeletal fingers, its hollow eyes fixated on mine. The room seemed to vibrate with a dissonant energy as the ghostly choir continued its mournful serenade. "Join us," the figure whispered, its voice a haunting echo that sent shivers down my spine. I stumbled backward, the room spinning around me. The once familiar house had transformed into a nightmarish realm, a twisted version of the holiday haven it had been just hours ago. The air crackled with an otherworldly force, and I could feel the weight of unseen eyes upon me. Frantically, I sprinted toward the front door, my heart pounding in my chest. The whispers pursued me, the spectral choir now chanting in an ancient, forgotten language that resonated with an unsettling power. The door, once welcoming, seemed to resist my attempts to escape. In a final act of desperation, I flung open the door and stumbled into the frigid night. The winter air, though chilling, felt like a breath of salvation after the suffocating atmosphere within. I glanced back at the house, only to find it shrouded in an unnatural darkness, the distorted Christmas tree visible through the window. As I stood in the silence of the night, the haunting melody continued, carried by the winter wind. The figure at the window, still obscured by shadows, watched me with an intensity that penetrated my very soul. The following morning, the house returned to its festive appearance, as if the night's horrors were nothing more than a macabre dream. But the memory of the spectral choir and the skeletal figure lingered, casting a pall over the joyous facade of Christmas. From that night forward, the mere strains of Silent Night would send a shiver down my spine, a chilling reminder of the Christmas Eve, when the holiday spirit gave way to a darkness that lurked within the shadows of the silent night. The Yultide shadows. The snow fell in delicate flakes outside my window, creating a pristine blanket that cloaked the world in white. Christmas Eve had arrived, and the air buzzed with festive anticipation as I cozied up by the fireplace. The glow of the holiday lights cast a warm hue over the living room, masking the impending darkness that awaited our unsuspecting home. My family had gathered for a joyous celebration, the air filled with laughter and the comforting scent of roasting chestnuts. However, an uneasy feeling tugged at the edges of my festive spirit, a subtle premonition that something sinister lingered in the shadows. As the night deepened, we exchanged gifts and shared tales of holiday traditions. The atmosphere remained merry, yet the corners of the room seemed to harbor a chilling secret. An antique ornament caught my eye, a relic passed down through generations. Its intricate design seemed to conceal a darker history that whispered through the cracks of time. As midnight approached, a palpable shift occurred. The room darkened despite the glow of the Christmas lights, and the air turned frigid. The flickering flames in the fireplace danced erratically, casting elongated shadows on the walls that seemed to move of their own accord. I excused myself to the kitchen, the unease growing with each step. The lights flickered ominously, and the creaking of the floorboards echoed like distant footsteps. A lingering chill crawled up my spine. As I reached for a glass of water, my eyes drawn to the window that framed the wintry landscape. In the reflection, I glimpsed a figure, a shadowy presence that stood just beyond the glow of the Christmas lights. The air seemed to congeal as I stared into the abyss of its eyes, hollow, yet filled with a malevolent intelligence. Panic seized me as the figure extended a gnarled hand, its fingers tapping a haunting rhythm against the frosty glass. I stumbled backward, the kitchen light flickering violently. The festive atmosphere had devolved into an ominous symphony of dissonant whispers. The Christmas tree, once adorned with glistening ornaments, now cast a haunting glow that accentuated the sinister dance of shadows. As I rejoined the festivities, the atmosphere had shifted. Laughter sounded hollow, and the gleam in the eyes of my family held a flicker of uncertainty. I tried to dismiss my eerie encounter as a trick of the imagination, but the unsettling feeling persisted. The clock struck midnight, and the room plunged into darkness. The Christmas lights blinked out, leaving only the feeble glow of the fireplace. A chorus of whispers enveloped the room, each utterance a cryptic message that seemed to echo through the walls. The antique ornament, once an innocuous decoration, now radiated an otherworldly energy. I felt compelled to examine it, the whispers growing more insistent as I touched the ornament. A surge of cold energy coursed through me, and a vision unfolded before my eyes. I witnessed a spectral gathering, shadowy figures clad in tattered garb, performing an ancient ritual that transcended the joyous facade of Christmas. The ornament had become a conduit for the spirits, an artifact that bridged the gap between the living and the ethereal realm. The room shimmered with spectral lights as the figures materialized, their hollow eyes fixed upon me. Their whispers intensified, revealing a tale of forgotten traditions and the darker side of Yultide folklore. The spectres sought to reclaim the essence of the holiday, an essence tainted by the passage of time. As the vision faded, the Christmas lights flickered back to life, and the whispers retreated into the shadows. The room returned to its festive appearance, yet the knowledge of the otherworldly presence lingered like a stain on the holiday cheer. The snow continued to fall outside, a pristine veil that concealed the secrets of a Yultide realm beyond the shimmering lights. As my family continued the celebration, I couldn't shake the feeling that the true spirit of Christmas was veiled in shadows, awaiting revelation in the silent depths of the wintry night. The gift that stalks. The air was tinged with the crisp scent of pine, and the promise of joy as I decorated the Christmas tree in the cozy warmth of my living room. Twinkling lights adorned each branch, casting a festive glow that danced in the shadows. Little did I know that the merriment of the season would soon give way to a sinister presence that lurked in the corners of my festive sanctuary. It all began with a peculiar gift, a small, intricately wrapped box that appeared on my doorstep with no card or indication of its origin. The festive paper was adorned with cheerful snowmen, a stark contrast to the foreboding aura that surrounded the mysterious package. Intrigued and perhaps a bit naive, I brought it inside, setting it beneath the tree like an unexpected treasure. That night, as I lay nestled in the warmth of my bed, a soft rustling jolted me awake. Moonlight spilled into the room, revealing the silhouette of a figure standing at the foot of my bed. My heart raced as I squinted to see, and there it was, the gift, now unwrapped, resting on the edge of the mattress. The box emitted an otherworldly glow, casting an eerie light that seemed to seep into the room. I hesitated, the air thick with an unspoken warning. Against my better judgment, I opened the box to reveal a delicate music box. Its haunting melody filled the room, each note sending shivers down my spine. The figure at the foot of my bed remained elusive, a dark silhouette that seemed to sway with the melancholic tune. As the music played, the atmosphere grew heavier, and I felt the weight of unseen eyes fixated on me. I tried to call out, but my voice caught in my throat. The next morning, the music box had vanished, leaving behind an unsettling stillness. I convinced myself it was a vivid dream induced by the stress of the holiday season. However, the strange occurrences persisted. Ornaments rearranged themselves on the tree, the twinkling lights flickering in patterns that seemed to form a cryptic message. As Christmas Eve approached, a chilling sense of dread settled over the festive atmosphere. The air in my home became a living entity, whispering words of ancient curses and forgotten sins. The walls seemed to close in, adorned with sinister shadows that danced in the glow of the Christmas lights. I sought refuge in the company of friends, hoping to escape the encroaching darkness, but the gift, like a malevolent spectre, followed me wherever I went. Its haunting melody echoed in the background, a constant reminder of a presence that refused to be ignored. On Christmas morning, the atmosphere reached its zenith. The lights flickered in a frenzied dance, and the air became suffocating with an oppressive energy. I stumbled into the living room, the gift waiting for me beneath the now rumbling tree. As I opened the box, the haunting melody reached a crescendo, and the figure materialized before me, a ghostly manifestation of my own fears and regrets. Its hollow eyes stared into my soul, and the room pulsated with a malevolent force. The figure, now a sinister reflection of my own form, reached out with an outstretched hand. I recoiled, realizing that this malevolent doppelganger was the embodiment of the dark secrets and regrets that haunted me. The ghostly figure whispered words of remorse and despair, each syllable cutting deeper into my psyche. In a moment of clarity, I understood that the gift was a harbinger of my own undoing, a manifestation of the darkness that lurked within. As the ghostly figure closed in, the world around me unraveled, and I was consumed by the shadows, the haunting melody echoing in the void. The festive decorations, once a symbol of joy, now stood as a testament to the sinister forces that can take root in the most joyful of seasons. As Christmas lights flickered in the distance, I became a mere memory, a cautionary tale of the gift that stalks in the shadows, waiting for the next unsuspecting recipient to unwrap its malevolent secrets.